everybody, it's 𝗙 back with another video, and I have a little comment here for this one. I thought it was an interesting one and a good one to address. This is from 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏. Hi Autumn, thanks for the comment. So let's just get into it, okay? I have a question, and I feel like this is why I have so much resistance to letting go of trying to manifest my SP. Well, if you're trying or you feel like you're trying, then you're not doing it, because it's already done. All you got to do is move yourself into alignment with it, okay? Can you give me some clarity on this concept or rule that the last thought, feeling you have on a subject has to be in a good stance or positive before letting go? Well, I haven't heard of that rule, to be honest with you. I don't know of that rule or concept or idea. And I assume what you mean is that before you stop thinking about it, you should have a positive thought about the thing, or whatever it is. I don't really see that as being necessary. I mean, it sounds to me like it would just complicate things even more and unnecessarily. Remember, you want to keep this a simple process, okay, guys? Because simplicity is what it's all about, and your monkey mind keeps trying to complicate things because it's, I have to figure this out. What's this rule? I got to try this rule. Now I have to make sure the last thing that I think about that thing has to be positive. How does that sound to you? Does that sound like something that's going to be easy to do? Does that sound like the path of least resistance, which is the path that the universe always takes? Always takes, always takes, always takes. Your mind doesn't take the path of least resistance. Your ego mind doesn't do it. Your monkey mind doesn't do it. It wants to take the most complicated path because it can only think of one or two paths towards the thing that you want and desire the most. So does making sure that the last time you ever think about the thing, which won't be the last time you ever think about the thing, but trying to make sure that it's a positive thought, does that sound like the path of least resistance? What sounds like the path of least resistance to you? Just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. The moment you worry about it, the more you worry about this stuff, the more you're putting out the energy and the focus and the frequency that you don't have it yet. That's all you're practicing here. When you go, oh, I got to make sure that that thought is this way before I let it go, then you're not letting it go. You're not letting it go. And remember, you don't want to let go of positive thoughts. You want to let go of negative thoughts, okay? So you're having a negative thought. All you do is think about something different that makes you feel better. Change the subject. Change the subject. That's all you got to do. But the comment continues. Otherwise, you'll manifest that thing to show up in the way that you last felt about it. Oh my God, no, we must follow that rule. I don't know who told you this, Jazz. Look, listen, you got to guard against some of this stuff out there, okay? There's going to be people who are going to go try to sell you nonsense like this, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's absolute nonsense. So I don't know where you heard it, where they heard it, or who came up with this idea, but it sounds to me a little bit more along the lines of, hey, just keep living in fear all the time, okay? Keep worrying about the thing all the time. Because, look, I'm going to tell you not to think about pink elephants. What's the first thing that popped into your head? So if I just flat out tell you, well, make sure you have a positive thought about that thing before you stop thinking about it, what are you going to do? You're going to have a negative thought about it. You're going to worry about it. Oh my God, now I had a negative thought. Now it's not going to happen. It's going to show up now in the way that I last thought about it. Your thoughts don't create. Here's a trick for you, okay? Your feelings create, first of all. So always make sure that your thoughts are aligned with what you want, that they feel the way you want to feel, that you feel the way you want to feel when you already have the thing, okay? So as the person, the version of 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏 that already has this perfect situation, the way that she prefers it, the way that's pleasing to her, is she even going to worry about things like this? No, she's not going to worry about it because it's already done, okay? You don't have to worry about it anymore. You just get on with your life. Let the universe orchestrate it in the perfect possible way. Get your clarity. That's it. That's it. So, I live with my SP and I want to get back into a new and improved relationship with him. Well, you live with him, so you're in a relationship with him. You want an improved relationship. Okay, that's fine. Well, what does that look like? What's an improved relationship? If you're sitting around going, well, it's not how I want it to be, it's not how I want it to be, it's not how I want it to be, that's one way to kind of keep it going the way that it is. But how do you prefer it to be? First of all, yes, identify what is not going so well in your mind, right? To you, what's going wrong in the relationship. Then acknowledge that, and then conceive of the opposite. What's the opposite of those situations? Every situation you go, well, you know, I don't like the way he smells. He doesn't shower every day, or, you know, or whatever it is. He snores. He doesn't listen to me. You know, he's off doing this thing. I don't want him to be doing that thing. What bothers you about it? How does it make you feel? And what's the opposite of that condition? And how does that make you feel? Right? So then you gain your clarity. How do you want to prefer it to be? Once you identify a problem, right away you switch to the solution. That's what you do. All right. Remember what I said in the last video too. This is kind of how things are created. The moment a problem or obstacle occurs in life, the solution is born right alongside of it. So then it's just up to you to choose which side of the coin you're going to focus on. Okay. The solution or the problem. All right. Which do you prefer? And obviously it's going to be the solution that you want to prefer, that you want to think about and focus on. But what does that even look like? What does that feel like? Okay. What is the solution? What is the better, new, improved relationship? That's what you then focus on, you see. So, but I unintentionally allow negative thoughts from things he said to me or current circumstance to flood in, and it's a process getting back to a better thought. Well, you're trying to get back to a better thought about him and the relationship from the standpoint of not feeling that great about it. So what you do then is you switch tracks and you think about a different subject. You think about something that is working out in your life. You think about what is going well, okay? So maybe think about your dog. Think about your work if that's going well. Think about anything else for a while except the subject, okay? Don't try to get yourself from a place of feeling terrible about a subject to a place of feeling awesome about that same subject. You know, sometimes and most often the best thing to do is to just think about something else for a while, because you don't have to try to force positive thoughts. Positivity and optimism are your natural states, okay? It's the negativity and the pessimism and all that stuff and expecting things not to work out and go sideways that is the unnatural way to be. And that's why it feels so awful to you, because your inner being is communicating directly to you through your emotions, through your emotional guidance system. You have a negative thought about something or a disempowering thought about yourself or your life, and you feel horrible about it. That's your inner being going, we don't agree with that assessment. You should be looking at it from another perspective. And then you feel good, you feel some relief, and that's your inner being saying, yes, that's a better way to think about that. But you don't have to constantly, you don't have to worry about anything like, you know, oh, the last thought I had was negative, and I let it go on a negative note, so therefore it's going to be negative. No, it doesn't work like that, okay? It's a process, all right? It's not a button that you push, okay? Here's a little quote I want to read you, actually. This is an Abraham quote, okay? And this kind of sums up what I say. You could have 10 major aspects of your current life, okay? One of them could be pretty good, and 9 of them could be far from good. And if you could focus upon the one that you like, you could make it so dominant that the other 9 would have to become the same. In other words, take the 9 subjects you don't like and dump them for a while. Stop thinking about them and think only about the one subject. If there is one, or maybe there's 2, think about those instead, okay? Focus on those. I love my car. I love this dress I'm wearing, these pants I'm wearing. I love the weather today. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to do with this particular subject, okay? You don't have to try to wrestle your mind to the ground. That's not the path of least resistance. Again, if you're feeling, you're having negative thoughts about something, a particular subject that you'd like to change, trying to go from the negative thought, the bottom of the rung, all the way top of the rung of the ladder, is not the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is to change the subject for a little while to something that's pleasing to you, okay? And I know that seems to people so often, they want to resist that even. They go, but Tarkan, I don't want to think about purple flowers. Okay, listen, whatever it is that's pleasing to you, that's not saying either pick something that you think might be pleasing, something that's actually pleasing to you, okay? But trust me, the more you try to force yourself to feel positive about a subject that you're just not able to feel positive about right now, the more that's going to frustrate you and the more you're going to slow that process down, okay? You got to be able to switch to something and think about something else for a little while, people. It can't just be 24/7 your SPs, 24/7 the problems that exist around a certain subject in your life. That's what you're focusing on. And when you make a statement like, well, I got to make sure that it's not a negative thought, the last one I have, well, what are you focused on? Where is your vibration going? Where is it flowing in that moment? Think about it for a minute. How does that feel to you? Does that feel like you're being easygoing? Does that feel like you would feel if you had the more pleasing situation and circumstance in your relationship already? It doesn't, does it? It feels, oh, it feels heavy and burdensome, and it sucks your energy, and it sounds complicated and difficult. If it's ever any of those things, then drop that idea altogether, okay? This is not some rule. There are no rules to this thing, all right? It's just a matter of how things flow, how things match up. The way you feel matches up. Your circumstances reflect back to your innermost state of feeling, what you practice on the inside most of your waking hours. That's all it is, okay? There's no real rules to break here or anything like that. Drop that idea altogether, okay? What you want is already created out there. That perfect relationship, that improved relationship that you desire, that's more pleasing to you, already exists. So does the less pleasing one, okay? So both of them always exist at the same time because we live in a polar environment here on Earth, okay? Earth. I guess I say that all the time. My girlfriend makes fun of me for that one, Earth. But both of them, we live in a polar environment here. So it's for you as a creator, it's up to you as a creator to choose which of the two sides you want to experience. And the way you do that is by choosing to feel the way you would feel that plugs in and matches to either circumstance. So if you keep worrying about it, if you keep thinking, oh my God, it's not going anywhere, if you keep thinking, I got to do this thing, I can't break that rule, I got to follow that rule, I got to press that button, I got to do this technique, then which side of the coin are you focusing on? Where are you putting how are you feeling? Are you feeling like you have it, like it's wrapped up, like it's a done deal, like you're living it every day, like you don't have to worry about it anymore? No, of course not. Right? So what would it be to do the opposite, to practice feeling the opposite way? Think about it for a minute. You'd be relaxed. You wouldn't even be worried about things like, oh my God, this rule, should I follow this rule? Do I have to make sure that I think this way at precisely 5:35 a.m. on every Monday? I got to say 200 times this thing, and then I got to, stand on my head, and I got to do backflips down the street, at least 10 backflips, and make sure somebody with a positive mindset is watching me. And then I got to stand on my head and try to eat an egg upside down, and I got, whatever the hell, this stuff, enough already. Stop it. Just cut it out. Okay. Focus on what it is that you want. The more you focus on what you want and how you want things to be, the more you feel like they are. And that's what you're after. That's the only thing you got to worry about. And if ever it doesn't feel right, you can't get yourself to feel good about the subject that you're most thinking about, then switch the subject, change the subject, change the subject, change the subject until you feel okay again, until you feel calm again, until you feel centered again, and then go back to thinking about the subject from a different perspective, you see. It's like a little dance, all right? 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, okay? 3 steps forward, 1 step back, all right? 4 steps forward, 2 steps back, okay? Either way, you're still making progress. You don't have to try to rush to get from here to there. Where you are is always on the way to where you want to be. Just relax and enjoy the ride, for God's sakes. People. So... the comment goes on, let's see here, let alone controlling my emotions when he comes home every night. Well, okay. I want to continue to live. Well, don't try to control your emotions. Listen, if you got a problem, talk it out, okay? If you got a problem, you can think about it. You can acknowledge the problem, but then think about, well, what's the solution to this problem? What would make this condition better? Where's the clarity here? All right, I'm seeing a comment all about problems, but I'm not seeing any, well, this is actually how it would be better. I'd prefer to be this way. This is what would improve the situation. So think about that, okay? You got to gain some clarity. I get a lot of comments, guys, and a lot of people coming to me for coaching where all the things they're writing down, all the things they want to talk about are the problems, all right? And I get a lot of this too. People like, why don't you do live one-on-one coaching? Well, I'll tell you, this is why. Because I know full well that if it was like a Skype meeting or a phone call, all you guys would want to do is talk about how everything is shit and going sideways and going wrong and all the problems and how your teacher humiliated you when you were 8 years old and how this thing happened and what do you and I don't want to give you an opportunity to do that, you see? Because it's so easy, because the mind wants to keep going over the problems, 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 over the problems. you got to stop, okay? You got to change the subject, okay? And it's okay to change the subject. And it's okay to change the subject when you're feeling negatively about the subject that you're most thinking about. In fact, it's preferable to change the subject at that point. You don't want to try to force yourself to cram some positivity down your own throat, okay? Change the subject in the middle of it being negative and feeling heavy. Change the damn subject. Think about some trees and some birds. Watch a nature documentary. I call them fuzzies, watching fuzzies. I like watching fuzzies. They make me feel calm. I feel happy about the world. And, you know, whatever it might be going wrong, at least I'm not getting chased down and eaten by a lion, okay? Could always be worse. So, anyway, I'm going to skip over a few parts because I've already answered quite a bit of that. So the idea of letting go or using a pattern interrupt, I feel, will help tremendously. Yes, it will. And that's what I was talking about. And that's what a pattern interrupt is. Change the subject. Right in the middle of thinking negatively about the topic, don't try to think positively about the same topic right in that moment. Pick another topic that's easy for you to feel good about, okay? I think will help tremendously, but I don't, here's that but. Remember the watch your butts. But I don't want to let go while leaving my dominant thoughts on a negative. See, because you're afraid still. You're still afraid that you're not doing it right. I'm doing something wrong. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? The only thing you're doing wrong is that you keep focusing on something going wrong. That's all it is. What do I got to do? I got to do something. And the only reason you're thinking that you must do something, the only reason you're searching for answers right now is because you're so hyper-focused on things not going the way that you prefer them to be. You got to remove your focus off of that. And you got to start putting your focus on things that are working out, the things that are easy for you to feel good about right now. Okay? I mean, listen, I know it's not easy to do that right away. I know it takes practice. It does take practice. If you're not used to doing it, it will take practice. It will be frustrating for a little while, but not in any more of a way than if you're going to sit down and learn the piano now or try to learn a new language. It'll be frustrating. But for most of you out there, it's like you want everything to have happened yesterday already. Focus on right now, okay? The impatience is also part of this idea and the focusing and offering this energy of it's not here yet, it's not here yet, it's not here yet, okay? This is why we meditate, all right? And this is why we visualize and do things like that, because if you're doing your visualizations in a way that where you're really feeling it real, like Neville says, right? Feeling it real means putting yourself there in the moment in your mind. If you're doing that well enough, right, then, or if it's effective enough for you, then really what should be happening is that you're already living it really. You're already feeling it, feeling that thing real, so it shouldn't really matter whether it's happening or when it's going to happen in your external reality, because of course it will happen. It will start to come into your awareness, okay? So you know, but again, don't do any of those things like visualizing, and I'll say it again, I say it every single time in just about every video. Don't do it from a point like what you're describing, Autumn, when you're feeling terrible about the subject, and then you want to try to visualize so that you feel better about it, or then you want to try to you know, impose some kind of rules upon yourself, saying like, well, I must now make sure before I stop thinking about that subject that I stop thinking about it when I'm feeling good about it. No, when you're feeling good about it is when you want to keep thinking about it, okay? When you're feeling bad about it, that's when you want to think about the 1 out of 9 things in your life maybe that's going well, that you can feel good about, all right? That you can focus on, and that makes you feel light and easy and gives you a sense of relief and gives you a sense of, things aren't so bad. You see, because I still got this, and I still got this, and this is going well, and I love that. Oh, and I love this thing, and that's going awesome. And yes, more of that, please. And yes, more of this, please. And in doing that, you're training yourself into solution-based thinking. You're training yourself into looking automatically at your world as being abundant, as your life is being abundant, and as yourself as being an empowered, deliberate creator, you see. But you can't do that from the standpoint of the mindset of always looking at where things are going wrong and then trying to force yourself to look at them through a lens of, oh, they're going well, they're going well, they're going well, they're going well, they're going well. And really they're not, right? Or you're not feeling well about it. That's the point I'm trying to make, you know? So think about anything else in that moment. That's what the pattern interrupt is. It isn't necessarily interrupt yourself feeling negatively and then go back and go immediately into thinking positively about the same subject. The pattern interrupt is interrupt thinking about that thing in that moment, because right now you're on this little momentum that's going down this little skipping down the road of this is crap, it's not working out. So you want to start thinking about something that is working out in that moment. Okay? And it could be anything else too. It could be a joke that you remember that makes you laugh. It could be something funny from your past, some time you spent with some friends that one night you all got drunk on the beach and, somebody fell on their butt and everyone laughed and it was a fun time, and whatever it is, okay? Things like that, all right? Watch a funny movie, listen to some uplifting music, take a walk, do anything else, okay? That's available for you to do easily and think about easily. That's going to give you a sense of relief. That's going to make you feel better and lighter about things. And by all means, don't try to make it that subject that you're feeling all heavy and problematic about in that moment. Keeping my thoughts positive on the situation long enough to let go is where I trip myself up, because you're trying too hard, you see? You're trying to keep your thoughts positive. You're trying to keep your thoughts positive on that subject because you're trying to make that subject the thing that improves. But in trying to make it the thing that improves, you're hyper-focused on how it's not living out in a way that you prefer right now, okay? I'm all tongue-tied. I'm all tongue-tied today. Tongue-tied, can you tell? Tongue-tied, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, you're trying too hard. That's why you're tripping yourself up because you're trying too hard, because you're so focused on how it's not working out the way you want it to be. What is working out in your relationship? I mean, there must be something good going on. There must be something that makes you feel good when he comes home at night, okay? There must be something that you love about him, love about your relationship. And if it's really there's nothing, then think about something completely altogether, okay? Think about, focus on making a nice dinner for you guys. Focus on your relationship with your friends. Anything else, like I said, that can make you feel better in that moment. Any subject, okay? You're allowed to change the subject. You don't have to think about your SP and the situation 24/7, guys. You just don't. If you never think about it again, and you just focus on feeling good, and you just focus on doing things that make you feel good, thinking things that make you feel good, getting involved in your life, getting involved in your passions, you will still manifest them. Okay? And you'll probably do it quicker and more efficiently than sitting around all day trying to figure out how to manifest them, how to manifest this thing, how to manifest that thing. All right? You're thinking about it way too much, most of you out there. You don't have to do it. Once you have the desire in place, once you imagine the better circumstance, the better outcome, it's created in that moment. Really, you don't ever have to talk about it again. You don't ever have to think about it again. The only thing you got to do is just make sure that you don't go back to thinking about it and then get yourself down the train of where is it, how is it, why is it not working out, why is it always problematic, okay? Because your brain, our stupid brains that we give way too much power to and way too much credit to, all right, is not designed to create things for you, okay? It's just a filter. It's a data filter. That's all it is, all right? It's just there to help you determine, what do I prefer? What do I not prefer? What do I prefer? What do I not prefer? What do I prefer? What do I not prefer? That's all it is, okay? Do I like chocolate? Do I like vanilla? Listen, if you like vanilla, you're not going to go around moaning and complaining about all the chocolate in the world. You just go find the vanilla things, okay? If you hate vanilla, you're not going to go tell everyone, stop talking about vanilla. I got to stop thinking about vanilla. No, you think about chocolate. You go find all the things that are available to you that have chocolate in them. That's all, okay? It's not that complicated, all right? So once you decide you like chocolate, just go find chocolate. Think about chocolate. Smell chocolate. Visualize chocolate, okay? Get the taste of chocolate in your mouth. Feel like chocolate all the time, all right? That's all. Don't ever think about vanilla again. Let the people who love vanilla have vanilla, okay? There's plenty of that for them. This is an abundant universe. So, any words of encouragement you can offer? Well, I hope I have. Preferably that I don't have to feel good to let go and still manifest our new and improved relationship. I love how you're like, please encourage me and please say these things to encourage me. Well, why don't you say those things to yourself to encourage yourself there, Autumn? I mean, I appreciate you wanting me to say them to you, but why are you giving me more credit than your own inner voice? I don't have more authority over you and your life and your thoughts than your own inner voice, than your own inner being. This is about teaching you to listen to your own inner being and to trust that voice. And if you become quiet, you will hear that voice speaking to you and encouraging you. But if your brain is noisy with all the things that aren't working out, all the things that aren't how you want them to be, you can't hear that voice, okay? But it's talking to you all the time, but it's never gonna shout at you. You're shouting over it, but it's just got a steady thing going on. It's always speaking to you in that steady tone, okay? And all you gotta do is just breathe. Just breathe a little bit. Close your eyes. Just sit in one spot for a little while. Let a little ray of sunshine fall on your face. And just relax, all right? And you'll see, you'll notice, suddenly that voice will be there because it's been there all along. From the day you were born, it will be there with you till the day you croak, I promise, okay? All the answers are there. But do keep watching my videos, and I am happy that you are watching the videos, so thank you for that. And those of you that are watching now and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, like, comment, share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it. Go ahead and feel free to leave me a tip if you want. All the links for that are down in the description box, as well as a link for my coaching services, should you want those or feel that you require those. So thanks for the comment, Autumn. Thanks for guys for watching again. I'm Tarkan, and until next time, just remember, keep calm and think for yourselves, okay? Especially right now. So happy manifesting. Take care. Bye-bye.